Welcome back. Interesting to hear your views. I see a lot of traction coming in. You can do some of this. Just look for P. Kivazo at Peter Kivazo. Just send through the comments. I'll be able to follow. Some of them I don't read, but some of them I look at and just feed into the discussion. Jacob Juma says, you guys should look at the value of this population. All of you are looking at the disadvantage. Boy, there is a gold mine in this. He says that there is a gold mine in this, and you can actually touch up the gold mine. Yes, Chaz, you had a few of the callers.
Yes, when the population grows, so they say exponentially.
You've learned those words.
Yes, it should come with some advantages. Indeed, it should. But if you have planned on how to nurse the economy. The other day, when Mr. Obama came in, he found America in a depression. How did he cure it? He cured it by increasing government expenditure. Yes, bailout, infrastructure development, and the objective was that the purchasing capacity of the population is raised. So if you are going to invest in Karuma Dam, if you are going to invest in some of these roads that government is doing, what is it?
No, I have a soldier friend that just compounds this. Says you people are talking about, what did you call the second-hand clothes?
Singate yafa.
Yes, she says that you are actually joking. People are buying second-hand underwear in this country.
By the way, those who put on underwear, you see, you also need to go and look at that underwear. When you find people having a hanging underwear.
What do you mean?
Here it's an underwear, but down there it's finished.
Watch away.
It's not there, yes.
No. When you get to that, you will join Pablo. You will not come to the face
but
off.
you see, this is face off. It's not back off. We are talking about Rio. Ask how many access a toothbrush. Yes. How many brush? How many brush in the morning and in the evening when you're going to sleep? How many? By the way, how many times do you do it yourself? And what is the cost? How many times do you dispose of the toothbrush? Do you stay with it for 3 months? You see, all this goes into primary health care and therefore the quality of education. Now, let's look at the other theory, that the population is big and therefore it should spur economic growth. I agree. That's how it's supposed to be. But if you are looking at the macro economic management, then you need to imbue it. You need to spur it. To do that. And how do you do it? You increase government expenditure. And government expenditure is through increase in salaries, investment in infrastructure development, but ensuring that that money goes to that population. Instead, this government increases taxation.
No, but Charles, I want to be fair. For the last 5 years, government of Uganda has been pushing huge sums of money. They started with $1 trillion that even the Ministry of Works couldn't consume into the road sector to open up the infrastructure development.
That's the point.
I have had a debate also with one of, I don't know whether he's an assistant to the president or he's an advisor to the president, Moses Biaruhanga, whichever his title is. And when we were discussing the explosion of districts, he said there is the other flip side of the coin. Because we are saying that we have an economy that isn't growing, government can deliberately decide to expand the districts, employ more people, and therefore put more money into people's pockets and effectively spur the economy.
Yeah, you see, if you are having a road, Masaka, Kampala road, you know, for them it's 2 roads. Masaka Kampala is 1 road, Kampala Masaka is also another road. Yeah, that's why the cost is always double. Because in 1 road they construct 2. In Tungamo Rukunji in Tungamo, those are 2 roads. Yeah. So
it has to be Charles Romshan.
No, but you see, how then do you explain? Even the other day when
and someone believes actually what you're saying.
But that's
someone
what it
here
is.
says Peter Chaz is actually telling the truth.
That's how they do accountability. Are you in Uganda? Now you stay in Nigeria, the other day, Madam Allen Kajana was giving the cost of expanding this road to the Majinja Highway. And there are two figures. I don't have them here, but they were carried in the media. Two figures. One is in trillions, another one is in a few billions. Anyway, let me go to the quality of this population vis-a-vis government expenditure. That when government spends this money, who takes it? Because if this money was if you are increasing workers' salaries qualitatively, and you are increasing government expenditure, but the money is going into the pocket of Procor, who is a consumer here, and therefore you are generating purchasing power. You are improving purchasing power. Now, let's assume that has been done by 90%, because they are not giving it to us. Who is taking this market? Now, in printing, I've had a conversation with these ones who are involved in printing newspapers. A container of printing material in transport terms, cost of transport, reaches here at $5,000. But the competitor in Kenya, it is $1,000. So you already have a disadvantage of $4,000 only in cost. The cost of production, the cost of consumption of electricity here in Uganda is far higher than that of Kenya. And yet we are the ones who sell them power.
Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, East Africa actually, we are the highest.
But yet we are the ones who sell them what? Who sell them power.
A bit of power.
No, we sell them power. Because I don't know how I'm going to define a bit. We sell them power. They buy power from us. We don't buy power from them. But power is cheaper the other end than it is here. So is fuel. I'm talking about costs of production.
Even airtime.
Yes, it's. Now let's go to the cost of capital. For you, where you borrow a loan at 36% here in Uganda, the other end they borrow at 6%. So it is 6 times higher, and therefore the other ones are more competitive. It is cheaper to buy a newspaper produced in Kenya than a newspaper produced here in Uganda. So because the economy is competitive, and therefore even the little small market you create here, it is consumed by the other people. Mr. Purko loves chewing gum. Mainly yellow. I don't know why you don't.
PK.
PK is yellow.
No, it's blue and green.
Please complete your point.
But it's manufactured in Kenya. Now the chips we take.
To keep my
the potato.
To keep the muscles
chips,
in
the
my
potatoes
face
we take.
Active,
Uganda,
so
the Uganda economy does not produce those Irish.
Watch away.
Yes,
they come from Kabale and
we import from Kenya. Both. We import from Kenya. That's how bad it is. That even the market you've constructed, however, it's poor quality and withstanding, our industrialists, those who are manufacturing it, can't compete for it. The cost of production is much higher. They are more than taxed. By the way, they are taxed to the bone marrow. I am surprised that there are some local farms that are still surviving this tax regime. It is destroying businesses. Therefore, they can't employ. And because they can't employ, so Peter Chavazo, you have to do 10 jobs. I think you do more than 6 to be able to pay fees for 2 kids and then drive a second-hand car with very old tires, because you also buy second-hand tires. Yes, so, it is that bad. So you therefore this business Mr. Museveni is talking about of integrating economies, integrating for who? Integrating for who?
And actually, this is a sad...
Let me first take this one and then come to David. Hello? Hello? Talk to us. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Your name, question, or comment?
I need to do a comment on what we are discussing.
Go right ahead, sir.
Hello?
Yes, talk to us. You're live on the face-off.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ndugu. Your name, question, or comment?
My name is Beka from Bushenyi.
Yes, how is Bushenyi?
Bushenyi is fine.
Go for it.
I salute you for the call.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, what is missing in the statistics about the population and the origin, actually the origin? Because we have many people live in Uganda who are not Ugandans, and they are not rated anywhere in the report. And so,
Go
When
on.
you look at Uganda's natural resources, I think we are the best. We have enough natural resources in Uganda. But unfortunately, we are poor. Today, it is unfortunate that the problem with Uganda is leadership, but not the people. We can have brains, we can have engineers, we can have doctors. But if we have a poor management system and poor leadership, we cannot go anywhere. Otherwise, I wish you are doing it better. Like we counterpart to Korokora and Yokori. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Pulko, this one is particularly concerned about non-Ugandans living here. I actually saw that statistic. I will check. I'm sure I have it somewhere and I'll give you that. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening to you.
Good evening, somebody.
We are okay. Your name, question, or comment, and do this fast.
This is Chiza Julius from Boyogene.
How is Boyogene?
For me, what I want to ask you, in this country, we have Ministry of Labor or we don't have?
The last time I checked, there was a Ministry of Labor.
Because what
It's
I have
gender.
asked this one, we have now, like, we have some foreigners here. Uganda needs, we are earning, like, if you get 1 million. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
If you can, if now, like, if I'm giving in here, Uganda needs, they are giving us like 1,500,000. I achieve in here from outside, like tomorrow, upon that he doesn't have anything, we give him like $3,000.
Okay, I get your point. Your point is actually about the control of inflows of labor. David?
Now, with if you go to some of these hotels like Munyonyo, you begin to see the number of Indians, okay, even in odd jobs, in corridors and supervisory jobs,
Those say you are welcome.
those even to welcome you, those so our citizens and their salary structure given our local, you find somebody earning 150,000, accommodation, I mean, feeding, housing, transport to workplace is totally unacceptable. I mean, somebody is not protecting our citizens. Now, you begin to see how work permits are being issued, which needs to be constrained. I mean, you must agree that these people who come from outside, they're also looking for a livelihood.
True.
Our people are also looking for a livelihood.
And
So-
your people are in India, your people are in Japan, your people are
I
in
hear
China.
you, but for you to be in the main street, yes, in the central business district, but should they be allowed even to have shops behind in the other streets, in the other suburbs? And where do we protect our people?
David,
For
you're
you-
not being fair.
No, for
David-
you to get a work permit.
David, hold on. You, David, have traveled.
I
And you
know.
know that in Chinatown, in New York, there are all colors of people. When you go to the back streets of all these major cities, you will get Somalis selling food. You and I know that
But-
when we go to Washington, all of us eat in the backside where the Somalis are cooking the food.
But
it
listen.
is the cheaper one. It is
Listen,
not
Chief.
the American there that is cooking the food. If you go to Nairobi, you'll find Ugandans doing the food. You go to the backside of London, you'll eat githeri, and it is cooked by Gikuyu.
Let me explain this to you. These people come and get goods cheaply from their own brothers and sisters who are manufacturers of Tororo cement, whether it is roofings or something like that, and their goods from their shops and so in the main business district. On a market days, they give these hawkers goods at the same goods at lower price. You come and buy from their wholesaler shops, and then they come and slaughter you again in the local village shop during these market days, using hawkers, for example.
called a Katare Komo
So
Bulo.
something is not happening right with our economy, and in terms of protecting our people. Now, look at the extractive tax regime. President Museveni is praising MTN, Airtel. What these are just collecting taxes for him and handing over of the VAT you pay on that airtime and so forth. So they are part of Uganda Revenue Authority. But otherwise, for them, when you increase the VAT, they increase the price, and then pass it on to the consumer. And then they pass that tax to Revenue Authority. And then you say they're your biggest buyers.
There are things they call MBs.
MBs. And then
when you're loading internet.
So
Before you even search,
the issue is,
it brings the message
please,
you have used
let me not forget this one. Now, if you load 5,000 shillings or 1,000 shillings on your as airtime now, and somebody is loading 100,000, so their percentage of VAT you pay on that 5,000 shillings or that 1,000 is higher than the percentage of VAT you pay when you are loading 500,000 on your phone.
What are you saying?
Meaning the tax regime is regressive. It is punishing the poor more than the rich. So again, you begin to see that we're living the same economy, but those who are hard hit most, like the way Romshana brought out, those who are even overtaxed, are again those low income brackets. So it's like they must stay there. They should not get out of that bracket and make it. So those who are being, like for example, you get Musisi to negotiate our own salary and comes with our own salary. And there are a few of those who negotiate their salary and come with their super salary. Now, those people don't buy local-made things here. They buy imported goods. So you get the teacher who earns less than 500,000. Again, payee comes in, pay as you earn, threshold. And then before that, then other taxes. So how will this population now help the economy to grow? How can we take advantage of this bulging population? So there is no, up to now, there is no plan, even by National Planning Authority, to link the population growth, the skill market, with the development, with budgeting. Nothing. It's not there. To say that this year we want to produce this number of agriculturalists, this number of blue-collar workers in this sector, this number of white-collar workers, there's nothing to match the skill with the requirements of the economy. And that this is where we want to meet in the next 5 years. It's not there. And yet you have ministries for economic planning and finance. Even finance until recently, I think it has been financing.
Someone is advising that the policy on foreigners who are setting up business should be that they must be partnered by.
So that you want to win this contract, even if you're Molem or you're what. I think 30%. Molem, you quote this one, which are there now. Like Sterling, they used to be there.
There is the Chinese now.
The Chinese now.
Israelis.
Give me a second, if you don't mind.
Please.
There is a gentleman called Banyenzachi.
Economic monitoring.
Banyenzachi.
Which one? The one of economic? You are talking of Stephen Banya.
Stephen Banyenzachi, yes.
Okay.
Stephen Banya, that is Ban Cafe.
Well, he started that coffee shop called Ban Cafe. It was on Grand Imperial.
It used to be actually on KPC building. That's where he started.
No, he had
his
a
client.
Shop. He had a shop at Grand Imperial.
I remember.
And he came with that formula of helping the local producer who is earning value. When it was adopted, they gave it somebody else. They didn't want to help him. That's a different story. His coffee shop at Grand Imperial, go there now. Someone is displaying these plastic chairs, these toys children use. It's what is in that shop. It's no longer displaying Uganda's coffee. Because he can't manage that rent. And you go on Kampala Road and see which products that we produce in Uganda are displayed there. It is second-hand computers. And these laptops and these gadgets, you use second-hand phones. It is what is on Kampala Road. The entire road now is taken. So there must be something terrible. When you see Ban Cape's shop collapse, and instead you have a display of plastics and Chinese toys in that shop, then it shows that there is a problem in the economy.
And now, those soon are closing, like Uchumi, like, what's this one called, this one from South Africa?
ShopRite.
ShopRite is closing. And most of this will be closing. Anyway, the economy is not generating enough. So what happens then if you have spent 30 years not to develop your own capacity, your own nationals, your own business community, your own, if you are just only extracting from them in a predatory way, you know, eating your own
David
children.
and Charles, we are almost checking out of this space. Let me take 2 callers and then I'll ask you what is the good about this. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yes.
Good evening to you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
We are okay. Your name, question or comment?
It's my name is Dennis Kamugisha.
Yes, Kamugisha from?
Rukunjiri.
Go right ahead.
Dennis, we are hearing you.
I'm happy with Charles Lomushana.
Is it because he comes from Rukunjiri?
He's making points.
Rukunjiri.
Go on.
Now, I'm happy that Lomushana is saying this, but he's not telling the Ugandans what actually is missing from his discussion. His discussion is saying that there is something that is lacking in the government. They have not helped the youth, and the youth are supposed to be helped. The infrastructure development that he's talking about is actually not infrastructure development, but he's talking about infrastructure growth development. Now, what is going to bring in is quality development of infrastructure.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Yes, gentleman from Rukunjiri, what was the name?
Dennis Kamugisha.
Dennis Kamugisha from Charles's village, and he's very happy with Charles because they come from the same village.
I think Charles is doing well. I think he's doing well.
Because they come from the same village. I'll do my last caller for the evening. Hello? 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 Hello, we can hear you. Talk to us. Okay, I'm sorry. The gentleman is waiting to hear himself on the set behind him, and that becomes cumbersome. The last one. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, talk to us. Good evening.
Yes, hello?
Yes, please turn down the volume of your set and talk to us.
Hello?
Yes, talk to us. Hello?
I thank you.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. You indeed thanked us. We need to check out of this place. Charles, from my economics class, a growth in population would definitely be a gold mine to anyone that is thinking of a market. And you have a youthful population that will consume everything. If I am Ntake, if I am Ntake, if I am, what is Amos Nzei, if I am Gordon Wavamuno that makes water, I'm looking at a market. If I am Phoenix Logistics that is manufacturing shirts, I'm looking at a market. And I should be licking my lips courtesy of this report.
Okay.
Very briefly.
We have said of the 80% that eat food, probably more than 50% eat chikamando, which is wheat. Right? Who is producing this wheat?
Gasta Lulentaki.
Who is producing wheat? Which farmers?
Oh.
You get, because that's what
must be Sebei.
Now, when you go there in Kapchorwa, they are crying that their land has been taken. So it's not even the other indigenous Kapchorwa that is going to produce this wheat. Someone has come and displaced him, taken away his land. You know, the gentleman talked about Rukunjiri, the quality of roads. The road Tungaman Rukunjiri, out of political pressure, is constructed. Where does the money come from? I listened to Mr. Museveni say that our shares in the Mombasa port is what we used to build this road. Would you do that? Now, the church.
Finally,
the church. The Protestants and the Catholics are losing to born-again churches. Because born-again churches are selling to the hopeless population in miracles. Chivazo, you want a job tomorrow, bring tithes, and tomorrow you will get a job. Come for your miracle now. There are even churches, my case is very urgent, there are churches, get out of poverty now. It's like churches, you now have that hopelessness of the population, someone taking advantage. And all in all, when you lose a relative now in the villages, and the church comes to pray for you, it collects tithes from you and even takes it. Even the Nyamandus must pay salaries to the church.
Finally,
I think finally
the growth of people educated in Karamoja was captured.
now let me talk about the entire country here and say that there is need to match the skilling of our population, and therefore enhancing the quality of its education, its skills. We must bring back those technical colleges. You've taken Busetema and Mete University. You've taken Bukala, you've taken Narapa, you've taken and turned these into big secondary schools, and you call them universities. So I think even if you are to mechanize agriculture, where are you training those who are mechanizing? So I think there is need for, they need to increase only the whole country. There used to be many in different parts of the country, even in the West Nile. Now, if you have taken those and bring everybody to Bukala, how big is Bukala? You need to be a
Viewers, an interesting discussion that I must check out of.
You know, they imported the tractors when they had no drivers.
Very interesting discussion for me, and the guys discussing online. I have to go. I may not read some of the messages.
From Netherlands,
And Wajama saying happy Easter to all of you and happy Easter to our viewers. One of the panelists of the show that is seated in his living room is the one remembering to say.
Among those with the TV.
This one has Karade. Richard Baguma is saying happy Easter to all our viewers on the Face Off. And good evening to everyone. Meet you wherever.